Hello and welcome to DB at the Movies, where today I'm really excited to be talking all about The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's a brand new animated movie from Sony Pictures Animation that just hit Netflix last week. It's from first-time writers and directors Jeff Rowe and Mike Rianda, and it's produced by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, two dudes who have a very good history when it comes to animated movies. They did Into the Spider-Verse, they did the Lego movies, and The Mitchells versus the Machines follows a dysfunctional family, the Mitchells, as they end up being humanity's last hope against a machine uprising after an AI technology, like Amazon Apple type assistant goes rogue and kind of enslaves the whole human race except for them. So it's up to them to save the day, and they have to do it while navigating some pretty common and basic family issues. This movie was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot different than I expected just based on how the trailers looked. And by that, I don't mean like I was surprised that that the machines came and it became like we have to defeat the machines. I mean, this movie had a lot more like coming of age, like family, not drama, but like family dynamics and conflicts than I expected. And it really resonated with me. There was a lot of times in the movie where that was what I was more interested in. Like the robot stuff would happen and the machine stuff would happen, and I'd be like, oh, right, that's going on. Because I was just finding myself very invested in the dynamics of this family. And I know part of that is in the writing, where Rowe and Rianda have really crafted some easily identifiable and sympathetic characters. That's not rushed. You feel, you feel for these characters. You get a good sense of their dynamic throughout the like bits of backstory and through their interactions. And then the other part of that goes to the credit of the voice cast. They've assembled a very stacked dynamic cast. You have Danny McBride as Rick Mitchell. You have Abby Jacobson as Katie Mitchell, the daughter. You have Maya Rudolph as Linda, the wife, and you have Mike Rianda himself as Aaron, the younger brother. And the four of them really in their scenes, they're incredible. They're exceptional. It's great to hear their dynamics. The chemistry is pretty immediate. You get a lot of good scenes and good interplay between them all. And I know that's a credit to both the writing and the acting, but that dynamic is something that I cannot stress enough because you're left wanting more of it. In the scenes with the machines, like in the scenes where they're fighting machines, it's really well executed as well. There's references to other movies of the type and other action movies packed throughout, as well as like the typical Phil Lord, Christopher Miller style references. There's an incredible sequence involving Furbies here that really stood out to me the first time we watched it, and it just kind of all adds up to yet another animated movie that provides a lot more depth and enjoyment than the live action movies tend to be able to. Like I've gotten to the point where animated movies for me are more must see than live action movies a lot of the time. Like I'll see commercials for the new Pixar movies or the new Sony movies now with their track record and how successful they've been. And it's just, that's a more like, okay, I have to see this as soon as I can. I don't want this spoiled for me than like, say, other new releases could be. And I think it's a testament to the creators behind it. I think it's a testament to the storytelling, how it's advanced, and then just the technology itself too. And this is a movie that showcases all of it. It's also got an unbelievably stacked voice cast for side characters and cameos, and that's something that really kind of lends itself well here too to the enjoyment of everything, is trying to figure out who's who. So Olivia Colman voices Pal, who is like the main AI Siri type assistant, and she's great. I mean, she's an Academy Award winning actress, so you're gonna get a strong performance from her, but you get a lot more emotion from her performance, as far as like, oh, you would think that it would just be kind of a one note performance, but you do get a bit of emotion there, and I think that's just, that's maybe how it was written, but probably a stronger testament to her strength as an actor. Eric Andre is funny in a couple scenes that he has as Mark Coleman, who is like the creator of PAL, And then you have a ton of voice cameos. You have Conan O'Brien, Blake Griffin, Fred Armisen, Beck Bennett from SNL, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend pop up as neighbors of the Mitchells. And they're great when they come in. It's a ton of cameos here and there coming through, but the strength of this movie really rests on the four leads, and because they're all so dynamic and their chemistry is so undeniable. Everything kind of floats along. The first like 10 to 15 minutes before everything really kicks into gear as far as the main plot is doing this like world building, showing you their relationships and the dynamics of everything, and it really is effective. Like I have seen some people say that the beginning was a little slow for them, and for me it just wasn't the case. I really enjoyed seeing these characters. I've heard there might be a sequel, and I don't really like I would watch it obviously if they decided to put out a second one, but I also feel that the conflict and the dynamics that are done in this movie and that are explored in this movie really, really progresses and ends organically. And I think a sequel, depending on how it's handled, could undo a bit of what makes this movie such a good and entertaining watch. But that said, I will absolutely watch a second one if they do it, because I would just love to spend more time with these characters. And last but not least, I cannot end this review without talking about Monchi, the family dog, who is incredible. I always am a sucker for well animated like animal sidekicks and dogs and pets, and Monchi's no exception. He's absolutely adorable. I laughed, I think, every time they did anything with him. And it's one of those movies where you find yourself laughing at almost everything, but then at the same time there's some real emotional depth in some of the scenes, some of the quieter moments. And then they'll use jokes and here and there to break the tension, but for the most part, when it gets to those moments, there is a lot to say a lot that it has to say about growing up and the relationships between father and daughter, and just the family dynamics and how they change over the years as interests change. And I really enjoyed it. It struck a chord with me, and I found myself wishing that it didn't end. I was just very invested by the end of it, and I was surprised that I was as invested as I was. That's me. I would love to hear what you thought of the movie, or how you think animated movies now are comparing to live action movies. Just drop your thoughts in the comments below, please. Please, and thank you for watching. If you've watched this whole thing, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you would like, if you enjoyed it. Whatever, I don't know, feels weird to say that still. And that's everything. Thank you guys. I will be back soon.